All right, let's see. We should be live. Nice. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop into game here. Let's collect this reward as we're moving along. Live stream upcoming. All right. Hey Gary H, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Always nice to have you here. We are just hopping into Dominion right here. We're going to try to collect these rewards if the game doesn't freeze up on the loading screen here. How are you guys doing? Nice to have y'all here on this shorter Sunday stream. Gujo, yo, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Jimmy Thomas, love having you here. Yo to you. Thank you for joining the stream. We also have Incognito. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Ronnie says, hey Jay, just headed to breakfast. Want to say hi. Thank you, and Happy New Year to you too. Have a great breakfast. Tanya, hello. Thank you for joining the live stream. Nice to have you here. Nice to have you here as well. And good morning to you. We do have our shorter Sunday stream. Hope everyone is doing great today. John Jensen, good morning to you. Thank you guys for joining the Sunday stream. I guess it could be Monday depending on where you're at, but for me it's Sunday. So here we go. We're going to start out by just kind of logging in, really checking out some glyphs. Let's see. I think yesterday we just finished up Lars. So Lars is now done glyph-wise. I think the next one to consider here has to be either Aurora or Krista. I'm kind of liking where Aurora is at right now. Everything's above 30 as it should, but Krista is not. So I think I'm going to at least get the intelligence up to 30 is my goal here, or close to it. If we can get at least to 28, that would be great, but I prefer 30. There we go. Okay. So we got that up to 30, which is great. Intelligence is our main stat, which increases more stats overall. So we always try to, really hammer down on that. So that's why I'm upgrading that one first. So we got up to 30, which is good for now. Obviously, we'll continue to move that up as we increase our Lars and Krista's powers, right? Power levels, essentially, which is great. So we got some movement there. We have 300 energy stored up. So I am going to first start out by raiding the paving ground for Celeste Soulstones, but also you get the chest, right? So we get the honorable, it used to be the Guardian Gasket. I believe now it is just a Guardian Box, I think it's called. What's it called? Honorable Guardian Box. It used to be a gasket, now it's just a box. But it's essentially the same thing, so we got some nice rewards to pick up there. Gujo says squad up. Absolutely squad up. Jimmy Thomas says, I think Joe Burrow will win the Super Bowl. All right, so the Cincinnati Bengals, right? A very, very good QB in Joe Burrow. I really, really like the way he plays the game. He really has some nice throwing ability, and they have a really good team, so it's totally possible. Jimmy says, or the 49ers. 49ers are very good too. They have so many weapons. It's crazy to me how good their team is, especially when you consider like how many injuries they've had, how many different things have kind of like, gone on within the 49ers QB quarterback position. And, they're very good. They got Christian McCaffrey, who I really think he's such a special player. He's so good. So I definitely think the 49ers had a great job recruiting him. Really can't go wrong. There's some solid teams out there. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how the Super Bowl turns out. I think there's a lot of good teams in the mix. All right, let's make sure we're getting our rewards here. We're going to open up our chest as well. Yes, if you guys don't mind hitting that like button as you join or as you are about to, head out, much appreciated. Or just hanging out and hit that like button. Always appreciate that as well. All right, so we've got a bunch of things to do here. We're going to start by claiming all of our goods, right? And so group gift, that is the artifacts that we got today. We also have some, some of my guildmates, it looks like, decided last day of the Great Storm event, time to, invest a little bit. So I can't complain. We're going to pick up some free little rewards there. It looks like some storm coins, which I love to use personally for getting those chests, right? I'm so close to, I don't know if I'm that close, but I'm getting closer to finishing out my chorus, right? So love that, love that. Tanya says, let's go Eagles. Eagles are pretty good too. I mean, so they have a bye right now, right? So the Philadelphia Eagles, they've got a bye right now. I know I looked that up yesterday. Jalen Hurts, very, very talented QB as well. Maybe a little less playoff experience as some of these other QBs, I would say. Like we're looking at, Joe Burrow for Cincinnati Bengals. You've got Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills. And you've also got, obviously Tom Brady. He's playing tonight, or tomorrow. We'll see how that ends up. It's a big matchup there. But also the other one is going to be Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, right? So we got a bunch there. And Cognito says, let's go Dolphins. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I will say the Dolphins have had a tough season, I think, overall. They were super primed and ready to go at the start of this year. But as soon as, Tua kind of got hurt, definitely has kind of impacted their game. But they're still a very good team. So, yeah, Dolphins are solid as well. Let's get 100 likes. Yeah, I mean, if you guys can hit that like button and ramp it up, much appreciated. Why not shoot for 100, and we'll see what happens here. Obviously, people are going to be watching the replay as well, so much appreciated. Wally, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. I always enjoy talking sports, so I'm not complaining at all about talking about football and playing Hero Wars. Honestly, two of the best things that we could be doing. But yeah, Jimmy Thomas need a QB, absolutely, yeah. I will say that's the thing too is like the Ravens, for example, right? They have a great QB one, right? When we're looking at Lamar Jackson, but then you go to the backups and you're kind of wondering what's going on there, and I think even the backups might be questionable to play, which further hurts your team when that happens. So there's a lot of questions. It kind of has shown this season, I think more so than others, really looks at injuries and how often the first string quarterback tends to go down. It's crazy. Vitamin, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We're just kind of hanging out, finishing out the day of the Great Storm event, right? Last day of this. And then we basically get, it seems like a couple days off. And then we're going to be looking at Brewster, right? The brand new Dark Titan tank. So what that means is we're going to need some Titan potions. We're going to need about, 80 levels worth, give or take, most likely. And we're going to have to look at increasing the skins, right, up to potentially around like level 40 or so, I think, or maybe 60. Pretty high, based on what I remember. So we need to start saving up some resources, continuing to work on that, having those summoning spheres available for us. So, keep doing your tower runs, or not tower runs, your runs for the dungeon, which I still think are super slow when you compare it to mobile, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Prax, hello. Nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. We've been kind of talking about a myriad of things here. Some football, some, playoffs are going on right now in football. Been talking a little bit about the Great Storm event loosely here. I really like this event. I think it's one of the best ones. Whether you are a free-to-play player or not, I really think the rewards are very beneficial to everyone. I know someone yesterday had a Oliver, I think, get to 5-star. So making progress, which I love. I love to hear that everyone's making progress. It's all about having everyone win here. It's not about, am I the best? I mean, obviously, you want to be the best that you can be, but it's not always about being the number one in the game by spending the most money. That isn't always, the most fun. So it's good to have a community where you're growing with everyone and everyone is improving together, right? And so that's kind of where we're at here. Is the weather in your city cold now? Yeah, absolutely. So it hasn't snowed as much as I kind of thought it might. Sorry, I'm looking at the thing here. It hasn't snowed as much as as I was expecting it to snow so far, but that's not the worst thing. It is a little chilly though, I will give it that. There's definitely some, you definitely go out in a coat, definitely are wearing full on, as if it were to snow kind of outfits. But overall, I can't really complain. I would say it's better than I expected for sure. It does snow. It does snow a little bit, but a little bit of rain here or there, a little snow here or there, but nothing crazy so far. Don't want to jinx it, so we're gonna knock on wood there. But so far so good. Early January, halfway through January now, I guess January 15th. Look at that. So yeah, not trying to jinx it. Absolutely practice. Not trying to jinx it. All right. So we are. I think this might be our last action point, and I'm not really looking to spend crazy emeralds just for to complete this event. Obviously, that would be ideal to finish it out, but it's not. It's not about that for me right now. It's about getting the rewards I can get, maintaining what I got going on here. And then, in the future, we'll definitely be investing a little bit more as it comes to that. 3 more of those captured locations would give us some more rewards, but I don't really think there's too much more I can do here. I don't really want to spend that much more energy on this event. Let's take a look at the quest, though, for the Frozen Treasure season. I actually think this season is interesting for 2 reasons. One is I really do think that I like the ability to potentially get a random light or dark elemental spirit. Obviously, I think that's really cool. I wasn't really willing to invest on this ticket personally, but I do think it's a really good, cool item. And just a side note, right? Let's say you get this and it looks similar to, when it's in your inventory, it'll look similar probably to something like the elemental spirit summoning sphere or the lesser elemental spirit summoning sphere. And when you go to use that, I don't recommend you do it yet. I think what you should try to do, because as soon as you activate that, that will trigger, similar to these other ones, another opened fragment. So that will move your, guaranteed next fragment or fail-safe number up to the next totem fragment. So you're almost better off just holding on to it. That's just my advice. But hey, you guys do what you want, but that's kind of what I think already. Have we discussed anything in the YouTuber room recently? We'll take a look at that shortly here. I know there's been, in my opinion, some nonchalant things mentioned. We can look at it, though, very shortly. Let's start, though, with this right here. So Clash of Worlds, another update. They really are talking about this a lot. But basically, one of the things that they're kind of focusing on is 2 things. Well, the one thing that I was going to mention was that you can now, as a commander, which is a new position in the Hero Wars World for Clash of Worlds members, it's basically the commanders of the Clash of Worlds. You can see if someone is online and see what heroes they can have so they can make more immediate attacks, which is interesting. I'm not really sure how that's going to play out, if it's good or bad. And we'll see if that affects Hero Wars systems at all, because that is a lot of extra game data, I feel like. That we didn't have before, so that could definitely play a factor. So anyway, yeah, so that's interesting. And then obviously they talk about how they're going to start out the ranks of everyone. They're going to start by having the top guilds in the Viscount League, and you have the Baron League as well. So there's going to be a couple different leagues. I'm not super familiar with the leagues divisions myself, but that's something I'll probably look into a little bit more in the near future. But it's something that's there, so that's something to keep in mind. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. Yeah, we're getting up there. We're over 12 likes now, which is awesome, and we've got a bunch of people hopping in and out, so we love to see that. Thank you guys for joining the stream. Gary says, what are we supposed to do with all the COW coins we collect? Yeah, so I use my Clash of World coins really mainly for my totems. So I personally collect them to upgrade my totems. I do have 2 of them. So I have the dark and light one, and then they're both at level 1. I believe I hit the failsafe numbers for those, which is why I got those. But we do have, obviously, 1 of each. And so I've been saving them because I need to use them basically to upgrade the totems. That's the only way you can upgrade them, or use emeralds, which, yeah, I'm not doing that. So obviously we have the dark and light totems, and the only way to upgrade these is through your Clash of Worlds trophies. So just like these guys, these were, bronze, silver, gold. Now you can only upgrade these through your Clash of Worlds trophies. So that's one option, is to upgrade your totems. The other one, right, is really to look at the Clash of Worlds shop here at the merchant, and you have a couple different options. So you got the Iris Soulstone, right, in case you don't have her maxed out, and you have a mirror, which I actually don't have maxed out, but I'm not in a rush to get her complete. I'm not gonna lie there. I'm not super crazy on necessarily finishing out a mirror right away. She's not a hero I plan on using in the next foreseeable future. We do have these other uncommon gifts though, which I think are pretty intriguing. Other than the fact that it stops at orange +4, and it is super expensive. So let me explain how these work, and I should probably maybe make a video in the future so people who maybe miss a stream are informed as well. But we'll come back to this in a second. Let me just finish out the frames, and then we'll flesh out what this all means. So we got the royal frame, basically just the outside, right? Dragon frame. Not really sure how that's a dragon per se, but I guess okay, sure. We've got the ruby frame. Obviously, there's a ruby right there, but I still don't know how that one's a dragon frame. But okay, royal frame. Okay, warrior frame. There's 2 swords, but it's not super unique. But okay, golden battle frame. Silver battle frame. At this point, this is just showing off your guild is a top guild, and you don't need anything else. We got the Knight of Light player's avatar right here. You've got the Knight of Darkness player's avatar. So these are both avatars that all 4 of these are already on mobile. Those have been out for a minute. Basically very similar to the shop that they have out there as well. But, anyway, these are extras that you can pick up. I personally think that, you're not really looking at anything down below Royal Frame. Well, anything down here. Warrior. You're not looking at any of these frames or player avatars unless you've already collected everything else, which is, I would say, pretty rare to find unless you really spent and invested a lot of cash. Anyway, going back, you can get the soul stones, but let me explain these gifts here. I think these are important to kind of flesh out. So, let's say you have a brand new hero. Let me look at my heroes here. Okay, let's start by looking at our heroes. We have blue Aiden, right? So let me start by saying, let's pretend Aiden is gray, right? And so gray means that his items or white, excuse me. I think it used to be, well, anyway, all right, white. So if I were to activate, let's say I purchased the first one, which is the green one, right? What that one will do is it'll take my gray or white, white leveled Aiden, and it will level up my hero to green +1. So if I buy this and activate it or use it on my Aiden, he will instantly go from white to green +1. So what will happen is Aiden will start here with a white designation, and he will get elevated and promoted to green +1. So you don't have to worry about finding these items, and it'll take you straight here. So I personally think that that's a waste. The green one doesn't make much sense to purchase. You really don't want to be getting that. So I would say there's no reason to even be looking at that one. And I would say the same for blue. Blue and green to me are easy items to obtain with energy and enough time. I would say purple, it's a little bit more difficult, but still very doable, which makes you really only look at the legendary gift at that point, because if you have like violet +3, this will take you to orange +4, which is not a bad spot to be in. Obviously, if there's a red one, I think a lot more people will be interested. But that's something to keep in mind, right? So we have, and who knows, maybe Hero Wars adds that in the future. Prax is right. The legendary gift is the best for newbies. So let's say you have, oh, here we go. I do have Kayla at orange. So if I were to activate the orange one now, right, this one would finish up her items for orange +2, orange +3, and take me to orange +4. And that would basically leapfrog me having to summon these items. So one thing to consider when you're doing this is you want to have your hero just barely be in that range, almost, essentially. But you really just want to have almost a base white hero, and you're going to use this item, and it's going to take you all the way to whatever level this says. So this says orange +4, so it will promote. So this will promote a hero from orange +4 rank or lower up 1 level, is my understanding, and same with these. So these will upgrade you 1 level, is my understanding. Yeah, so it'll promote you by one item is one I understand. So you'll go from and I haven't tested these out. I don't really plan on spending that much on them yet. But it'll take you from like, blue to blue plus one. It basically increases and finishes out whatever you have on your thing. So you basically want to have everything completed on your hero at that point when you activate that skill. So you don't want to be having just one. It's kind of like the what do you call it? It's like the rarity fair, essentially, and it kind of upgrades you one level up to, I think it's orange plus four, right? So thank you, Incognito. But I do think that sometimes if you hit it twice, it does unlike it. But anyway, that's fine. New Titans, yes, we do have a new Titan, right? We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we'll talk about it right now as well. We do have Brewster, who I'm excited to see kind of how he plays a role. I'm not sure. I don't think he's in the game data yet. Let me see. Yeah, he's not in the game data yet. Otherwise, his little thing would have shown up. But we saw him yesterday, and we talked about him a little bit. He is huge. He's very, very, very big. He's got those huge arms. He's essentially looking at arms that are very, very comparable, or hands that are essentially his entire body. Well, his whole arms are pretty much just his fist. But that's how massive he is. And it looks like he can take a punch, but he can also deal one as well. I'm excited to see what he can do. Let's see. Let me see if I can pop up that video here. YouTube. Maybe we can hop on and see that video. Before we get to that, though, let's go ahead and look at the content creators chat. I know someone asked about that earlier. Let's see. I haven't looked at it too much recently. Sometimes there's a lot of action and not a lot going on. So there's some talk about mobile stuff. It looks like Coco's been, trying to do a lot more mobile videos. So he wants more stuff with mobile. Trying to get some information on upcoming heroes. And I mean, it really looks kind of mostly that, there's some questions on the last Titan event that we had, the Light Titan event, because you had to specifically upgrade the Light Titans to get those upgrades. And it looks like that was kind of an issue here. So just some bug issues here, nothing really crazy. I'm pretty sure, it looks like a lot of people are kind of in vacation mode still. So I'm not going to really hash too much more on that. But let's see. We also have Hero Wars. We just really want to look at Hero Wars. Let's see. So here's the Brewster one we were talking about earlier, right? Ooh, interesting captions. We don't need that. Let's see. The image is not popping up for whatever reason. Come on. But I do really like the way Brewster looks. I think he's kind of cool. He has those huge arms. He almost looks like the Hulk in a sense. Let's see. Can we get this video to pop up, please? Can we get some images? There we go. So we got some images now popping up here for us. And obviously it hungers for more. Yada, yada, yada. But let's look at this Brewster guy. Look at his arms. Those things are huge. And you can see he kind of has this darkness shadow power where he can kind of do a shooting fire fist. Or I say fire, but it looks like a fist. He's a master of shadows, which to me means that he's kind of like the captain or commander, which to me is interesting because if you have the master of shadows, right, what is your super titan going to be called, right? Because if Brewster is the master of shadows, what does that mean for the titans that are the super titan? What is his title going to be? That makes me very, very intrigued. It's almost like, man, he must be super, super strong if this guy's the master of shadows and you have a super titan after him, right? I don't know. It just seems like something to consider there. But yeah, Jimmy, yes, the event is for the Dark Titan tank coming out later tonight. So I'm super excited to see what this Dark Titan's about. But look at him. He's massive. Look at Sigurd and look at the size of him. If I were to overlay these two, right? So let's say, maybe from here to here, right? So somewhere in that range. This guy looks like he's almost a full like extra, 25% bigger than Sigurd. And obviously we've got 2 Titans taking him on here. But look at him holding his ground by basically throwing his fist into the ground. And you can see here, obviously, the 3 Dark Titans beat the 3 Fire Titans there. Obviously, again, though, remember, you do have a huge advantage when you're on the offensive team, so it doesn't really do too much. And they didn't really give away too much, right? So all you could see here was essentially his, when he wins, he likes to hit his chest with his, little, well, I say little, but his fist. You can see he's got a punch move there. But really, that's all they kind of give us on that little preview. And I think that's all they wanted to give us with the 28-second preview of him. But I really do love, I like the way he looks. I think he's kind of a cool looking Titan. I'm excited to get him. I think he will be someone to look into to getting. I don't know how amazing he'll be right off the bat, but with a name like Master Shadows, I have some expectations. I'll put it that way. I have some expectations. Let's see. Well, it says newbies won't be in a gold guild unless they are spending. That's true. Very true. So, yep, we talked about the new Titans there. We're getting some more likes. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for hitting that like button. Always really does help. The YouTube algorithms love likes. It's weird. Well, maybe not. But, it is a little weird. Tanya says he looks like the Hulk. Absolutely, he does. Well, he says Spike Fist. Yep. I mean, he does. It looks like he, that's kind of one way he grounds himself, right? He kind of throws his fists into the ground to kind of make him more tanky so he's not moving around, which is, great in a tank. You love to see your tank just kind of eating those shots, but it does look like it leaves him a little bit more susceptible, but obviously he has some, he's a bulky guy. Maybe he can hang in there a little bit more as a tank. That's kind of what you want. So overall, I think he has all the qualities that you would want in a tank. It's just a matter of let's see how he performs when he actually comes out. He has all the, it looks like he has the desire, the hunger. But we'll see if he really has the actual skill to back it up and the strength. Really, I think it comes down to that. So they said the same thing over at Hero War Central live stream. Where is your guild in Asgard currently ranked? All right, so that's a good question. I have no clue. I know we're not bad, but I also know we've had a couple people go on vacation recently for like a week or so, so I'm not really sure where we fall in this. I'll take a look though. I'll if I can find out, I'll let you know. Top guilds, we are ranked 121. So we're in the range. We're not like amazing. We're not bad. But, I can't believe how many guilds in here are from servers later than 20. I mean, how much, just out of curiosity, do you think a guild like Funhouse, and I don't know anything about them, but they must have some pretty strong teams. And if you look here, they're all level 130, right? And they only have 29 members, and they're still top 3 when you're looking at a top guild here. How much money do you think that they've invested into this game? Hero Wars must love those guys. I'm just saying. I mean, obviously AOD is a big spending guild as well. They spend almost every single event, almost buy everything, every single event, and yet they're still behind this undefeated Clash of World champ guild, which cool, good for them. And now they have 13 members. Like, okay, cool. It looks like they might be server hopping, which that's good for them. But it's just like, I look at these guilds, and this to me just shows you, man, these guys must have invested a lot of cash on their heroes and pets to get to the point where they are, scoring some ridiculous numbers. I'm just saying. So, yeah. So we're like ranked 121, so we're in the top 200. I'll take that. Top 150, I guess. Top 125 if you want to get like, closer to where we're at. But anyway, yeah, so we're not doing bad. Mushy and Shroom will be here for sure. Zisha is still a complex case if she comes. I don't know if Zisha's coming. I know Mushy and Shroom will be coming into Hero Wars this year. As for when, that I don't know. But I almost guarantee, I mean, maybe spring. It makes sense that she would come out in the spring. She looks like a spring hero. She looks like someone who's like maybe an offshoot of Alvinor, that kind of a deal. Well, I say she, but I guess Mushy and Shroom, it's two separate. So you got, Mushy, who I believe is the mushroom himself, and Shroom, who I believe is the female. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I got that backwards. I'll look at it later again. But, you know, very interesting hero, definitely coming to the game at some point. But I actually think instead of Zisha, we'll be seeing a pet. I don't know if we'll see Zisha at any point. That remains to be seen. The Hero Wars, you would need to modify some, um, I guess, some dialogue lines in the Great Storm event. But I think it would be cool to have. I'm not saying that it doesn't, you know, I think it does kind of make it more difficult to have her immediately inserted the game, given that she plays a different role, kind of like a villain in the Great Storm dialogue. But if they change up the dialogue, I don't see a reason why they can't bring Zisha in. I think it's a pretty easy fix overall. Just saying. You know, I think it's one of those things where it's like this particular Great Storm event, right? So here's what I would do if I were Hero Wars, right? And this would be, I think, a big spending opportunity. You make it a week-long event. You duel it up. So it is a 7-day event for the Great Storm. It's a special Great Storm. It's a one-time Great Storm event. You have that, and you have Zisha coming in as well. So you double it up by having Zisha as a brand new hero, right? So this is an event where you have, this is just me making shit up, but I think, excuse my language, but I do think that it makes sense, right? You have a dual event for Zisha coming into the game. You have the Great Storm event 7 days, right? Where you can get great rewards to summon some pets, and you have Zisha come in at the same time. And now what happened is essentially, because you're doing this Great Storm event, you're able to purify or have Zisha see the wrong in her ways, and then she becomes a hero. And so while you're accumulating all these resources, not only for your pets, but also Zisha, you have a dual event. And I think people will spend massive on that kind of event, a one-time dual event, where not only can you get Zisha, but you can get great rewards for your pets. I mean, that is a Hero Wars, you're welcome. I just gave you a multi-million-dollar idea. But I think that would be something that's crazy. That would be cool. Sorry, got off track there. Got a little excited about talking about some new heroes coming in as well. John Jensen says, I just maxed out Corvus, except for Asgard. Been working on him for a long time. Congratulations. Corvus, you know, solid hero. Definitely one that I would like to work on in the future. Just, I'm nowhere near where you're at because I just haven't worked on him. So that's awesome. Congratulations on that. That's a milestone in your own right. So definitely mark that down. That's pretty impressive. Corvus for me, long, you know, down the road project, it looks like. But, you know, we gotta start somewhere. So at some point we'll get there. We got him up to purple +3 currently. My goal eventually here is to get everyone up to purple rank at least. Kayla somehow got to orange. I don't really know how that happened. Some of the items must have been easier to farm than I expected. Let's see. But we're going to try to kind of get our boy Aiden here, at least out of this current rank. Let's see what we can do here. Raid a couple times. Okay, so we got that done. Summon that Dark Rail. Get him out of blue into blue +1. Maybe we can equip a couple items here as well. Whoop, gotta create that. I just personally like having my heroes be minimum purple because I think the items are not usually that difficult to acquire. So it feels, I feel like I, you know, just didn't invest enough time when I don't have them all around purplish. It just, I don't feel like it's that much of a reach to ask, especially because some of these items early on are not that difficult to procure. We still have a little, you know, magic hat here, but we got blue +1 is, or blue +2 is better than blue, and blue +2 will get us to violet. So we'll see what we can do there. I'm not really itching to rush to get energy, but we do have energy coming in very soon. I'll get that going there. Tanya says, I've been in Gold Guild for 1 year. Congratulations. I will say, you know, how do you like it? I think I personally have found that there's different experiences. Some people really, really enjoy Gold Guild, and some people don't. And so I've been playing, let me see how long I've been playing on this account. I've been playing longer than what I've been playing on this account, but 2019, let's see, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. So over 3 years I've been playing this game. I've been in Gold Guild for more, you know, so I've been in Gold Guild for a decent amount of time. And I've jumped around. I played in, you know, qualifying league plenty of times, bronze league plenty of times, silver plenty of times, and, you know, gold has definitely been the majority of where I've been. But I find a couple things stand out to me. One is Gold Guild for me was very fun for a while, but I also find, because you're usually, if you're in Gold Guild, you're either smashing teams, if they're like within gold, there are tiers, right? So obviously, if you're the number 1 or number 2 team, or even number 3 team, you tend to do really, really well. And we've obviously taken a break from really doing anything Guild Wars recently because we placed third. But the last couple of weeks, we've just been kind of taking it off. So everyone's been getting perfect scores. So it's not as fun because everyone's just drawing. But I will say, it's nice to kind of just beat down on some teams occasionally in Gold League. But then you also have some of those times when you're just, you're getting beat. Other times I will say there's some strength in seeing, I just feel like Gold League is very, it's more business than it is kind of camaraderie. I think Silver Guild kind of builds more of a camaraderie sense to it, and Bronze League sometimes as well. Qualifying League, I just feel like there's a bunch of disorganization there. But if I were to kind of go about my, how I see different guilds, I guess, interact or how they perform, I personally think that the funnest time I've had is kind of being more in Silver Guild, where you're fighting to get to that next gold level league. But I will say, obviously, gold level is where the best rewards are. So it's it's a trade-off all around. But congrats on being in Gold Guild for a year. That's awesome. John says, I want to see the Super Titans for Light and Dark before I decide if I want to use them or not. I think that's a good call. I think people are going to be using Dark and Light Titans a fair amount. I think because they're not they're stronger to water, and they're stronger than, I think, the initial 3. At least that's how it's going to be perceived. We'll see if that's actually how it plays out. But that's kind of the perception going on right now, is that these Dark and Light Titans might supersede or overtake the main 3 that we've had for a while. At least primarily because Hero Wars will want to promote them and want players to kind of go for them and get those. But, we'll see what happens. I do think that once all the Dark and Light Titans are released, Hero Wars has to do something about this Elemental Tournament shop. This is just not good for anybody. They need to fix this. That's going to be something that is going to be needed to be said at some point. So I will probably mention that in the YouTubers chat at some point, because this is egregious. I've been sitting on so many resources I can't use. And the Elemental Tournament shop is really the only place I can go to trade in items for my Earth, Fire, Water Titans that I don't need. So, that's something that I think needs to get fixed. As a side note there. Okay, we open up some stuff here. Wallyverse says, funny enough, Mushy and Shroom getting a new skin, so we might get her soon. So on Hero Wars Mobile, she will be getting a new skin. I'm not really sure. We're not sure about what all is entailed with that, obviously, but she is supposed to get a new skin. My guess is during the upcoming, New Year time, which is interesting because this Brewster event kind of almost overlaps a little bit with I think it's the Chinese New Year, which is typically when we have brand new skins come in as well. So that could be something to consider. We got the lunar skins that we typically see coming in here. We had recently for Astaroth, the lunar skin, the magic attack one, which I love that skin for Astaroth. I think it's just, magic attack, what's not to like. So, I'm a big fan of that one. But anyway, also, yeah, we got to go back to the, the more sinister looking Kark. I don't know why I accidentally clicked on Dark Depths, but I love this skin. This skin, to me, for Kark is his ultimate swan song skin. Sorry, side note. But anyway, yeah, so we're picking up some nice stuff there. Hey, Simon, nice to have you here. Thank you for joining the live stream. He says, unfortunately, then they would have to make a new pet event, and I don't think that would happen. I'm not saying that they get rid of the event, right? I'm saying that they just sync it up at that one particular time where they have both a event where you have the actual Great Storm, but also you have a separate one or separate component. Maybe you have like another secondary merchant, essentially, like a secondary one here. And what you would do there is you'd have different separate tasks for collecting different items to basically get the soul stones that you need for Zisha, or summoning Zisha, essentially. I think that would be cool. I don't know. I was just spitballing. We'll see. Well, he says I have 3 level 130 accounts. No more tower runs for me. Gotta love that. That's awesome. Congratulations. I will say tower runs. Yeah, definitely tedious. So, can't go wrong with that. I personally, if I could just claim all, right, and just pick the middle one in all of them, I would. But I can't do that yet. But that'd be cool. I do think the tower run, though, still very valuable. I like these. Um, eh, it exists for a reason. It gets those newer players the gold they need. But I will say, yeah, the simplicity of being able to just kind of do the run throughs. Congrats on that, Wally. It must feel good to not have to worry about the tower runs anymore. Just a burden, a burden. Simon says, I think they eventually will put the Dark and Light Titans into the dungeon. Maybe that's when they will eventually do a rework. They could. I'm not counting. I'm not holding my breath on that one, but they could. They definitely could. Antonio says, do we know which Titans will match best with fire? No, we don't. And the reason is because of two things. One is we don't even have the Super Titan yet. And, without knowing what Brewster can do yet, it's still too early to put out guessing combinations. I mean, I guess if you were to look at it today, you only have 2 options. So those 2 would be the best to put with Fire Titans. But no, not yet. It's a little too early, I think, at this point. And I will say, though, it does look like having 2 of those Titans might be your best move, which will be a 3-2 combination. Because you need 2 Titans, right, light or dark, to be able to even activate your totem. So, I think there's going to be a lot of popular teams that have a 3-2 combination, at least early on, until we figure out more about what the best metas are and how to kind of go about defeating different lineups with the Dark and Light Titans involved. So I think there's a lot of work to be done. Nothing's going to be solidified for a little while until we have more information. Still in the early stages of that. But, it should be exciting. Should be exciting. All right, so the other thing I need to do here is see if we can do an arena matchup real quick. Haven't really done one of these in a minute. This is not a favorable hero matchup, so we're gonna try going with our twins here. And trying to think. Maybe we go Jorgen here. So this is one of my weaker squads, I'll be honest with you. It's not like my top team or anything like that. Let's see. Alright, this should allow me to put Biscuit here, and this should allow me to put Axel here. Oh no, Laura's come back. That's fine. We'll run it. We'll see how we do. We might lose. It's fine. I just need to get some matchups in. So we're just going to do one here. And then what I'm going to end up doing now, actually, after this, is we are going to have our winners, right? So we're gonna get close to getting things going. I didn't realize how fast we went through this stream. Time has flown by. I've been having a blast hanging out with you guys. But I will say, Incognito, so far it's a little too early, I think, to predict what we're going to be seeing with the Dark and Fire Titans, or Light and Fire Titans. So we'll see. I do really like, I like the Fire Titans a lot. I think personally right now, I still like Hyperion the best, right? That's the Water Earth Titan, or Water Titan, Super Titan. I think he matches up. I think it's a he. He matches up best, I think, with the Fire Titans as of right now. The new Titans, I don't know yet. But I think what you're going to end up wanting to do in the future, and we'll see this, I think, when we do some more testing, is I think we're going to end up seeing some combination of a 3 fire team. So I'm thinking probably you want Moloch, Araji, and probably Ignis. Then you'd probably want 2 either Dark or Light Titans, or yeah, I think probably 2 Dark or Light Titans, because then you could use 2 totems at the same time. So just kind of thinking about this, like, out loud. I haven't really done too much research on it. I personally think you would want someone potentially, right, you probably want a Super Titan at some point. So you're definitely gonna use either the Dark or Light Super Titan, and based on what I've seen so far, it's highly likely you probably go with the tank as well. So I mean, we don't know enough yet to make that official. We don't know enough yet if that's really. This looks like a timeout here. But you know, I think those are some things to consider for sure. I think there's a lot that goes into how things get sorted out. But I think ultimately, what you're going to want to do with your Fire Titans is you're going to want to kind of do two Titans or two Dark or Light Titans, because that's how you can use two totems, and you can probably do some extra work with that as well. And when I say extra work, I'm talking about the ability to have two Super Titans and have two totems. That's going to be a pretty tall task. And Cognito says, I already have 2 totem fragments each for the new Titans. That's impressive. I'm a little jealous there. I only have 1 of each. So looks like I'm behind you on that one. I haven't even really invested any emeralds recently on the Altar of Elements, which I probably should, but I haven't gotten around to it. So that's something we will be looking at in the near future, but not today. Not today. All right, I'm going to check the merchant. Then we're going to wrap up here by having our winners for today's giveaway, because we do have to do that. We definitely got to do that before we wrap up stream, and we got to have some winners. So let's see. We're going to check this out here. Any items I can acquire to upgrade some of my heroes would be greatly awesome. Just want to claim different things here. Let's see. No. Yes. No. 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 I will need it eventually, but not yet. Kind of want the Drummer's Fancy, though. That's a more difficult item to acquire. Siren Song. How many of these do I have? Okay. We need the Staff of Neutralization. Yeah. We can come back for those. Some of those items come up quite frequently. The Demon Slayer, or Giant Slayer, excuse me. Something I will need. Trickster's Cane as well. Demon Slayer. That is an anime. It's a good one. It's ongoing. It's the All-Seeing Eye. We need to pick that up as well. Nothing crazy there. All right. So I think we're in the right zone here. Let's hop over, and don't forget, right, we are saving up. And this is just a quick side note. Make sure you don't spend your summoning spheres. We want to hold on to those. Don't upgrade your heroes or Titans anytime soon right now, because we're waiting for the incoming booster. That's when you're going to be wanting to spend your items to get Titan potions and whatnot to basically level them up. So just keep that in mind. Don't spend them yet. Hold on to it. And Cognito says, this is my thought as well. 4+1 might still be the best. John Jen says, we will see when they all come out. If the totems don't charge fast enough, it might not be worth it to do the 3+2. That's fair as well. That's a fair assessment. We'll have to do some testing in the very near future. All right. So with that, let's open up our picker wheel here. I do have an updated list with everyone from the Discord, right? So let's start out with our Sunday's Facebook spin. So good luck to everybody. Hopefully you guys entered. If not, definitely do enter for the next week's winners. So let's see who our lucky Facebook winner is. Good luck to everybody. I need to get ready to write this down. Our lucky winner is Ralph. So congratulations, Ralph. You are our lucky Facebook winner. I will be messaging you shortly after the stream. Congratulations. Let's see who our second winner is here. Let's take a look. Open it. And we got the Sunday's Web. Good luck to everybody. Let's see who our winner is, including... So we had Ralph for Facebook. Let's see who our lucky web winner is. It is Mojo Rising. Mojo Rising, congratulations. You are our lucky web winner. Feel free to reach out to me. I can reach out to you. We'll get things sorted out. But congratulations to our 2 winners today, Ralph and Mojo Rising. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on this stream. Thank you guys for hitting that like button and hanging out with me here on this awesome day. You guys are really kind of the whole reason I hang out with everyone and, you know, keep making content. Without you guys, it's not as fun. So thank you guys so much for all that you do and supporting the channel. Always love it. Thank you guys so much. And with that being said, we're going to have more winners next weekend as well. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm just seeing happy birthday here for Incognito. So happy birthday, Incognito. And thank you guys so much again. Look forward to seeing you guys next weekend. And I look forward to seeing you guys very, very soon in Dominion.